Ladies and gentlemen, the train has run into...
Oh, how I do enjoy leaving phone messages. Since this is an unsecured line, here's a clever little riddle. Buttons, buttons on the wall. Light them up, but not them all. Clues I've left, there are 4. Each one found reveals a door. I just came up with that.
Well done. I have a small favor to ask that has nothing to do with work. This is a vacation, after all. Oddly enough, a zoo agent is aboard your train and wishes to help us by defecting to our side. It's quite the coincidence that you'd both be on the same train. Really, what are the chances? Great job. Not that this is a job, obviously. Before getting back to enjoying your very real vacation, find out which cabin the defector is in and send them something with the agency logo on it.
Sorry, we are tending to some difficulties up ahead. Please stay in your compartment for now. Thank you. Still dealing with the situation. Room service is temporarily unavailable. We'll let you know if that changes, okay? All right, cabin 4.
Look at that. A free gift. I couldn't be more jealous of all the fun you're having. Anyway, send the defector something agency-related to make contact.
Listen closely. I'm only going to explain this once. I need to know I can trust you. Send me the pardon, and I will send you the intel you want. Thank you. I can now pursue my music wherever it takes me. The device I sent has what you want. The combination is the date of my birthday.
I can't believe it. They killed her. Get that device open, Agent. Well done. One last thing. Insert that tape into the reader. It will transmit the defector's intel to us. Perfect. We're receiving the data. Transmitting it has apparently alerted Zor's assassins to your position. Good for them.
Room service.
The old gun through the mail slot trick. I used to do that at the office when I was an agent. I was asked to stop. The old spear through the ceiling trick. Never got a chance to do that one at the office.
It would seem Zor underestimated both of us. You impress me. But let's not celebrate quite yet. Zor's backup is on its way.
We've received reports of a low-flying aircraft in your area. Pilots these days, don't they know that could be dangerous? Well done. I have a small favor to ask. Great job. Not that this is a job, obviously. Before getting back to enjoying your very real vacation, find out which cabin the defector is in and send them something with the agency logo
I do
on it.
enjoy leaving phone messages. Since this is an unsecured line, here's a clever little riddle. Buttons, buttons on the wall. Light them up, but not the...
Cabin 4-1. Cabin 4-1.
Sorry. Still. All right, cabin 4.
Look at that. A free gift. I couldn't be more jealous of all the fun you're having. Anyway, send the defector something agency-related to make contact.
Listen closely. I'm only going to explain this once. I need to know I can trust you. Send me the pardon, and I will send you the intel you want. Oh, thank you. I can now pursue my music wherever it takes me. The device I sent has what you want. The combination is the date of my birthday. And...
Well, perfect. We're receiving the data. Transmitting it has apparently alerted Zor's assassins to your position. Good for them.
Room service.
The old gun through the mail slot trick. I used to do that at the office when I was an agent. I was asked to stop. The old spear through the ceiling trick. Never got a chance to do that one at the office.
It would seem Zor underestimated both of us. You impress me. But let's not celebrate quite yet. Zor's backup is on its way.
We've received reports of a low-flying aircraft in your area. Pilots these days, don't they know that could be dangerous?
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. The train has run into a bit of a problem. But don't worry, we will sort it out and have you moving again shortly.
all
For your
right,
safety,
cabin
please remain in your cabin.
Look at... Great job. Not that this is a job, obviously. Before getting back to enjoying your very real vacation, find out which cabin the defector is in and send them something with the agency logo on it.
Listen closely. I'm only going to explain this once. I need to know I can trust you. Send me the pardon, and I... Oh, thank you. I can now pursue my music wherever it takes me. The device I sent has what you want. The combination is the date of my birthday.
Aye, perfect. We're receiving the data. Transmitting it has apparently alerted Zor's assassins to your position. Good for them.
Room service.
Ah, the old gun through the mail slot trick. I used to do that at the office when I was an agent. I was asked to stop. Ah, the old spear through the ceiling trick. Never got a chance to do that one at the office.
It would seem Zor underestimated both of us. You impress me. But let's not celebrate quite yet. Zor's backup is on its way.
We've received reports of a low-flying aircraft in your area. Pilots these days, don't they know that could be dangerous? Just like in the movies. Remarkable.
It's done. I'm free. I would tell you to come find me someday, but I get the impression you couldn't leave this life behind. So instead, I will just say thank you and goodbye.
Still additional objectives to complete, I'm sure. Carry on. You'll need to destroy Zor's top secret submarine, but don't count on...
Welcome to our state-of-the-art Zoraxis escape pod. An explosion has disabled primary functions. This is an emergency. Please start engine manually. Wasn't that easy? The engine is engaged and we are starting our set. Just sit back and relax. System malfunction. Would you like to vent oxygen? Venting oxygen. Oxygen level warning. Engine overheating. Structural integrity failing. Hull secure. Self-destruct in 90 seconds. Enter override code to board. Aborted. We hope your escape pod experience was a pleasant one. Please gather all your belongings, open the hatch above you, and signal your rescuers. Have a nice day.
Our communications are back online, Agent. Signal us to let us know your location. Ah, there you are, Agent. We thought we'd lost you to the wilds of the Caribbean. We're approaching your position now. The coordinates you transmitted from the... We're calling this mission Operation Friendly Skies. Dr. Zor, corporate billionaire by day, underhanded villain by night, press the start button to begin your... You may be wondering why this car can never reach Zanzibar. It has some of the most high-tech weaponry in Dr. Zor's considerable arsenal. Naturally, we'd like to poke at it a bit. Drive it off the plane, and you may just earn that vacation you're always going on about.
Intruder detected. Present eye for... Scan failed. Targeting. Laser avoided. Deploying secondary countermeasures.
Oh, the old ticking bomb. I'm partial to plastic explosives. You'll need to cut those wires, Agent. You may be wondering why this car can never reach Zanzibar. It has some of the most high-tech weaponry in Dr. Zor's considerable arsenal. Naturally, we'd like to poke at it a bit. Drive it off the plane, and you may just earn that vacation you're always going on about. I've seen you do many creative things with a knife, but I don't think turning screws will be among them.
Detected. Present eye for retina scan. Scan failed. Targeting. Laser avoided. Deploying secondary countermeasures.
Oh, the old ticking bomb.
System
I'm partial
resetting.
to plastic
Weapons
explosives
online.
myself, but you must respect the classics. I believe defusing bombs is covered in
System
basic training,
resetting.
yes?
Weapons online. Deploying scorpions. Next message.
Zor, there is an urgent matter we must discuss. Contact me on a secure line immediately.
You'll need to cut those wires, Agent. You may be wondering why this car can never reach Zanzibar. It has some of the most high-tech weaponry in Dr. Zor's considerable arsenal. Naturally, we'd like to poke at it a bit.
Laser
Drive
avoided.
it off the plane,
Deploying
and you may
secondary
just earn that
countermeasures.
vacation. Oh, the old ticking bomb. I'm partial to plastic explosives myself, but you must respect the
System
classics.
resetting.
I believe
Weapons
defusing
online.
bombs is covered in basic training, yes? No ticking is good ticking, as they say. Now, can we please focus on getting the car out of the plane? Unconventional, but then again, convention never was your strong suit. You'd better drive the car off the plane before something else explodes.
Parachutes deployed.
We finished dissecting Zor's car, and only 2 technicians died in the process. A new record. A few of Zor... The Alps are known for scenic vistas... You've certainly made yourself comfortable in Zor's private hunting lodge. I hear the agency is handing out lodges just like this one to any agent who finds the new machine Zor is working on. If I were you, I'd find that machine. That fits well. You and Zor must have heads of similar size. That's a, fun fact. His plan seems crystal clear.
Machine access restricted. Insert control cartridge. Control cartridge accepted. Voice authentication required. Authentication failure. Deploying Bear Archer. Bear disarmed. Security malfunction. Insert datasphere override. Door alarm triggered. Tear gas activated.
This doesn't bode well. It's just as we feared. Zor's new device appears to have the power to affect gravity. You must destroy that machine.
Crystal unstable. Machine malfunction. Laser defense mode 1.
Zor certainly knows you're there now. We're sending a helicopter to extract you. That machine must be destroyed before it arrives.
Crystal unstable. Laser defense mode 2.
Your helicopter's arrived, but you can't get close until you destroy that machine.
Crystal unstable.
Nicely done. There's nothing like an explosive finish to foil a villain's plans once and for all. Now, grab that retrieval line, and we'll get you out of there. I have good news, Agent. As everyone knows, you are my third favorite field operative, and as such, I managed to find some money in the budget for that vacation you always mention after nearly dying. Grab the new reel in the door, and we'll be off and running. Zor's people recognize you now, so you'll be going undercover for this mission. I hope you're not scared of heights. Data retrieved from Zor's car confirms information linked to us from a Dr. We believe Zoraxis is creating a deadly supervirus. We know Zor wants revenge on the agency, but this is a tad extreme. Get into that lab, and I'll walk you through making an antivirus.
Breach detected. Initiating security measures. ID accepted. Security disabled.
Full disclosure, Agent, I don't really know how to make an antivirus. However, Sean in HR says you tested well in chemistry, so give it a go. Save millions of lives and don't blow yourself up. Agent, you've been spotted. Quick, act naturally. All clear. They bought the window washer routine. It seems you have a job if this whole secret agent thing falls through.
Neutralization attempt blocked. Playing pre-recorded message.
Found a conscience despite our threats. Well, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to use your antivirus. We're changing the timetable and launching the supervirus today.
Agent, if that rocket launches with an active virus, millions will die. Neutralize that virus now.
Deploying rocket boosters.
agent. There will be no outbreak today. Let's get you out of there. A bit of bad news. Your test scores for window washing came back. It seems breaking a window is generally frowned upon while washing it. But hey, what's a broken window to saving 500,236 lives? Quite a bit, actually. It's coming out of your paycheck. While not discreet, you did get the job done. Though, I suppose discretion went out the window with Zor's explosive dirigible over the Caymans last year. Ah, the prettiest explosions are always the messiest.
This is a commentary bubble. The button you just pressed toggles them on and off. They are now on in all of the puzzles, as well as this room. They contain interesting developer tidbits. For instance, the time frame with the art style we were going for was late 50s, early 60s. You know, the prime spy era. Of course, we needed to fudge the technology here and there. For instance, Zor's retina scanner was conceived of in 1935, but the first working one wasn't until the early 80s. But this button and this radio are period specific. Another thing we wanted to keep in mind was close interactions versus far interactions. Sometimes far interactions can set up a grand scale of things, but really it's the close interactions that work the best in VR. Freezing things and being able to look all around them is really cool. Being up close and personal is more fun in VR. You have to be careful when you're conducting playtests in VR to make sure that your guests aren't too immersed. We've had a half dozen or so people fall right out of their chairs. They're reaching for things. That's why we put a nice soft rug underneath our playtesting chair to protect both the hardware and people's knees. One thing that we kept in mind as we were designing puzzles was, can items be used for more than one purpose? For instance, the bottle is fun to play around with. You can pop the cork, release the champagne, have a little moment of celebration, but you can also break the bottle and use the shards of glass to cut the wires on the bomb. Is it the multi-tool or the unitasker? Whenever possible, we'd go for the multi-tool. For texture memory and draw call reasons, there are only 4 unique book covers in the office, but you can be sure that all are standard issue for EOD agents. We went through many names for what we now call souvenirs. They were additional objectives, they were spy achievements, mementos. No matter what their name, they're fun to play with. Enjoy collecting them all. The I Expect You to Die you are playing now is the end result of many, many iterations. This villainous librarian was the antagonist in one of those iterations. And speaking of iterations, we completed many of them with the help from our playtesters. Early in development, we'd have coworkers try prototypes, or even cardboard mock-ups of puzzles. Then we would bring naive players into our offices to playtest the game in white box form. That is, most of the art would be untextured, simple forms, mostly cubes. Then later we'd continue almost daily in-house testing, as well as sending the game out to third-party testing facilities. Among other more targeted questions, we'd always ask these 5. What was your favorite or best moment or interaction? What was your least favorite or most frustrating moment? Was there anything you wanted to do but the game didn't support? If you could wave a magic wand and add, remove, or change anything, what would it be? And when did you feel most clever? By tracking these answers, we could focus in on how to make our game as great as possible.
The intro credits sequence was not originally a planned part of the project. It started off as an experiment with no art or tech support, stealing assets from the levels and making new objects like coffins and sharks out of simple cubes and spheres. Many of the unique objects you see during this sequence are still actually from abandoned iterations of levels. For example, the Tesla coils in the final hallway are early versions of the virus vat from window washing, and the rocket silos are from an old version of the lodge. There are certain materials that appear as a solid color regardless of angle or lighting. We use these elsewhere in the game for luminous objects like indicator lights or lasers. We created the flattish style of the credits by applying these types of materials exclusively. Everything is still 3D, and it's especially interesting in VR because your brain still tries to parse the distance and shapes of these silhouettes, and it can, to a certain extent, when different colors are near each other. This allowed us to do little tricks like have something that seemed flat suddenly reveal depth as you move, like the agency logo, or have objects morph as they rotate. This song literally began as me improvising lyrics into my phone late at night, coming into work and being like, hey Bonnie, hey Tim, what if we did this but like, actually good? We were still bootstrapping at this point, but I approached Jared, Sean, and Mark with the phone-sung song and thrown together visual prototypes. They were on board enough for us to feel comfortable continuing to experiment, with the hope that perhaps this was something that could be unlocked at the end of the game. Jared did his own pass on the lyrics, and by fusing the two versions, I got our final song.
Once the lyrics were close to their final state, I felt inspired on my lunch break one day and recorded myself singing the lyrics a cappella, which ended up being pretty much the final melody of the song.
I then took the lyrics, the original phone recordings from Connor, and the melody Bonnie recorded, and fleshed it out into a full-fledged song. The first recording of the song was just me and my piano, recorded hastily in my apartment at like 2 in the morning. Eventually, I made another version of the song with a rough instrumentation of strings and brass, with Bonnie singing lead and both of us on the backing vocals.
In January 2016, we finally showed our credits experiment to the studio leadership. It went pretty well. It was decided that this would be the first thing you've seen, which is a little more pressure.
Meanwhile, I was working on fleshing out the orchestration more with virtual instruments and made a new demo. I submitted a segment of that demo to the Music Demo Derby at GDC. The feedback we received was that it sounded like a polished demo rather than a final product, and that we should look into recording live instruments. We contracted some studio musicians, recorded new vocals with Bonnie and the background singers at local Pittsburgh studio Red Cayman, and then they took care of the rest of the mixing and mastering of all our stems. We ended up with a really great final product. I don't think any of us ever imagined that this would have been possible, but we are all incredibly proud of the end result.
The world can't save itself, Agent. Welcome back.
promise you, agent, can't escape me forever. We're playing a game. You take from me, I take from you. But every game ends, and when this one is through, I expect you to die. The best of the best, you die. I expect you to die. I expect you to die. When you finally see the worst side of me, we'll finally be eye to eye. I expect you to die. That voice in your ear, they've no chance to save you. A mere puppeteer, they only enslave you. You're a piece on a board, I bet with my wealth, my armies of dreams. Your every success, unveil still greater schemes. A lake full of acid, a drill from the sky. If you try to fight me, we'll watch your hopes die. Lasers and saw blades with sharks on standby. You're right where I want you, and this is goodbye. I expect you to die. I expect you to die. I expect you to die. When you finally see the worst side of me, we'll finally be eye to eye. I expect you to die. 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 I expect you to die.